I just bought what I think to be one of the coolest cars that most people have never heard of. A 1992 Cutlass Supreme International Edition. This is a clean title car that was ordered by an employee at GM back in 1992, and it's one of the rarest specs ever. There was only about 18 of these in the cool aqua blue metallic, and with the twin dual cam 3400 V6 and the GetTrag 5-speed manual transmission, and about 40 other insane features like the back seat, the factory heads-up display, one of the first cars ever to have that. And in the last episode, the engine was misfiring. I verified it does have good fuel pressure, although volume could be an issue, and I replaced the spark plugs because the ones that were in here were very old and pretty gross. After installing the new spark plugs and letting it warm up, the engine did clear up and run smooth until it then died and never started again. Ah, it died. Darn. And we need to get it to not only start, but run and drive in this video. So without further ado, let's dig right back in. Now, if we're gonna get this car to run and drive, we need new tires. I have no idea how these things are even holding air or how old they are. And so while we work on everything else, I'm gonna send these out for new tires. Hopefully by the time they're done, this thing will not die out and run. It's got little plastic cool caps that are gray. Old Cutlass thing right there. Oh man, I hope this wheel's not frozen. Oh, yes. All right. First things first, we are going to replace this fuel filter, and we'll spray a little bit of penetrating oil on this end because we need a wrench on that side. This is a quick connect. So half thank you, GM, for doing that. Like, why? Just do one of these. Well, we'll do the easy side first. It's literally just that easy. Pull it right off. And there we go. And we're gonna use a line wrench on this end and hope it doesn't strip. Oh, beautiful. All right, cool. So this is gonna turn right out. I know it's impossible to convince you Southern guys that don't see any rust, but Midwest and Rust Belt guys know a lot of this is just surface rust. It looks so bad on camera. But this line, if you just sanded it down, it'd be fine. It's okay. So with that disconnected, we can just slide this guy out, and I'm so curious to see. What do we have? Oh man, it doesn't look that bad. Yeah, I was expecting this to be much worse with like rust and orange looking fuel. Let's see, we got a date code on here? What is that word? Is that Delco? Yeah, Delco GF578, so this could be a factory one. I doubt it's that old, right? I don't see a day code, but it was made in the USA. That means it's really old. You're hard pressed to find any automotive part like this made in the USA still. But yeah, let's get a new one in and let's see. Okay, it's not making any noise. On my Buick Grand National, I had an issue like this where it would start and die out, which is the primary issue, I guess. Doesn't start anymore right now. And there was a valve in the fuel filter that broke. No noise? Noise. Is this the problem? So it would allow it to start, but then the valve would slowly close, block the fuel flow, and the engine would die, and then you'd have to wait for it to fall back down. So that's kind of what I'm going at with this, but let's get a new one in. How in the world do they not give you a new O-ring with the new fuel filter? Look at that. We're not gonna put that back on. We have a brand spanking new O-ring for it. Let me know if there are any made in the USA fuel filters like this. If there are, I'll swap it out. Not that I've had any issues with these, but it's a 92 olds. It'd be cool if it said made in the USA in there. That's all. All right, I'll push that end in, and then we'll screw this in by hand. Perfect. All right, Alex torque, click. Let's see if it fires up. Prime the fuel pump, which I actually don't hear anymore. Before we definitely had fuel pressure. Might have been what's left in the rail. Oh, there we go. Huh. Okay, so it runs. So before, if we kind of like revved it up, it runs great though, by the way, with the new plugs. So before it would die out, there it is. Okay, all right guys, here is what I'm thinking. I think we need to drop the gas tank. I think it's possible the sock at the bottom of the fuel pump is just clogged up with rust and debris from this thing sitting. Let's drop a fuel tank. Here's our fuel tank, and we have two hoses right there, and a strap bolt right there, and one in there. We'll have to take this shield off, and we'll spray everything. Please don't break off. Oh, beautiful. Ah, this is great, guys. Okay, stuff like that really goes to show that this car was garage kept for most of its life. Okay. I don't need to take it all the way down. I'd like to, but I don't want to bend it. We'll leave it alone. Oh, we can get to this hose clamp much easier here. This might break. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah. Oh, this clamp is bad. We got it. That's why they give you the flat blade option or the socket, whichever one works. All right. I wonder if that's gonna work. No way. I got it. And why is that clamp facing this way? If it was on the other side, it'd be so much easier. Like a 4-foot long extension in here, but it's working. All right, cool. The car's reading a quarter tank, and the big question is a quarter tank this much of the tank? When I pull this, am I gonna get doused? I'm filming this on August 15th. It is my 40th birthday today. And honestly, all I could ask for is that fuel line is below that hose. But I got the Hannibal Lecter mask, as I like to call it. Let's pull the hose, guys. Okay. And of course the hose is stuck. Come on, baby. I think it's breaking loose. Oh man, this is stuck. I was really hoping to do this slow so I could see if fuel was gonna come out. You know this thing's just gonna pop out and just, it's gonna make my birthday hold fuel all over me. Honestly though, 18-year-old Alex working in the 100-year-old barn that was our garage growing up would be pretty happy to see me still basically doing the same exact thing, like 22 years later, working on old rusty cars. Come on. And I gotta show you something else that I ask for every year for my birthday. This year is no different. WeatherTech floor mats. I have these in a bunch of my cars. I've been buying them for years. They're local, they're made right here in Illinois, and they're a family-owned business. And they're now a sponsor to the channel, which is awesome. So they gave me these for my birthday. Now you guys know how much I love my C63 Edition 507, and the car is in excellent condition, including the interior and the carpets. Look at these beauties. These are the absolute best liners in the entire world, and they are laser etched, so they're gonna fit your car perfectly. And take a look at how easy your installation will be. Snap, another snap, and you are all done. And look at this beauty. It looks like something that would have come from the factory, if not better. Now, something else I love about the WeatherTech floor mats is they have a raised wall. That way, if you were to ever spill anything, oh no. Well, what I was trying to say before I totally accidentally spilled my coffee is that the WeatherTech liners have raised walls, and they have channels that will channel a spilled drink into an area where it won't spill over into your carpet. So it keeps everything right here so you can easily clean it up. Just give it a couple wipes, it's clean again. So obviously this works great with liquids, but it's also phenomenal if you live in a snowy area, because as you can see, this is textured, so you're gonna get a lot of grip, a lot of traction. But the rear liners in the C63 are done. And take a look at their new HP liners. These have higher walls and anti-skid nubs to hold them in place. I've had WeatherTech mats in my daily driver Escalade for many years, and here's a real world look at them after a camping trip. But with just a few minutes of easy cleaning, they can look new again. Nice. It would be much more difficult to clean little rocks and sand out of the carpet, so this is a big time saver. And take a look at the rear mats. You don't even have to take these out, just wipe them clean.
So you have to get this nice and clean.
Good job. My two little daughters love helping me clean out the truck, and it's just so easy. So I'm gonna drop you guys a couple of links to WeatherTech down below. You can pick them up in person or have them shipped directly to your house. And I do consider these a great investment in your car. They more than pay for themselves by saving your expensive carpet. So check them out down below. Back to the olds. Hang on, I'm prying away at this gas tank, and there's a nice looking sticker here. 4:47 p.m. and this is, I believe, the harness to the fuel pump. This doesn't look that old. It's got a 19 here, but that could be a part number as well. I'm gonna drop the tank either way, but we might have a newer fuel pump, like a 5-year-old one. I'm working my way around here. I'm working my way back to you, babe. Okay, I'm not 80, I'm 40, but I like the oldies. The real oldies, not like when they say oldies and it's from like 1989. I'm like, that's not old enough yet. Let me get my 90-degree pick in here and loosen this up. Oh, all the way around. That should do it. All right, guys, I've come up with a new idea here. So sorry, we might not see me get doused in fuel on my birthday, but I'm going to lower these straps and try and angle the tank this way, because I think fuel is gonna come out pretty bad. All right, that's one. Here's the fun part. I have to hold the tank up and get the straps out of the way and then pump this trans jack up to hold the tank. So let me actually get fully lined up here. This is awesome. Oh my gosh, we got animals. There's a millipede. Look at that nasty feller. He doesn't want to be around for this. He doesn't want to see this tank fall. He's out. Okay, I think that's it. Am I in control of this tank right now? It's not that heavy. Get out of here, strap. Hi, I'm holding it up. Okay, did that help at all? I don't know. Trans jack, please save me. save me. Just need to get it outside of these. So it's falling, but it's not a tank. Yay. All right, we're gonna swing these straps out of the way. Like that. Put this back on for the whole thing. There could be millipedes and stuff. We'll never make it through my Hannibal Lecter mask. All right, here we go. We're gonna go down now. This shield is totally getting in the way. It's like you gotta drop the whole exhaust to get this shield out. That stinks. Okay. Okay, I think we're good. This thing is actually feeling pretty light. Oh, we should have all the fuel tilted this way. Now really all that's holding it up is the trans jack and these hoses. It does not want to, I can't wait to get this back on. That's all I gotta say. I think the little hose is holding us up right now. I'm gonna replace it anyway. Let's get this out. There we go. Let's hold it on a tiny bit. There we go. We got a cut. Oh, it's coming. There we go. Woo! All right, let's see. Would I have gotten fuel all over myself? No. We're good. That's about level where it was. I don't need no stinking mask. Home free here, people. Da, da, da. Oh, more awesome GM teal. Untouched teal, I think. Unless someone's already done this. Okay, now we have a fuel pump harness we gotta worry about. This is the one with what I think is a 5-year-old day code. Okay, well, there goes that. Okay, all right, now she's coming down. We'll go forward with it. All right, old Cutlass Supreme. International edition has no more fuel tank. Oh, hold on, we still have a bunch of lines from the front that we gotta disconnect, but now it's way easier to do that. Luckily, these are easy, quick disconnects. There's one. Oh my gosh. I knew it! I didn't bleed the pressure, I totally forgot. And I got no mask on. Oh man, you guys rooting for me to get soaked in gas. You won. You won! Although it's not that bad, I've had way worse than that. She holds pressure, I'll tell you that much. That's why I did that, it was a pressure check. Passed. Let's see what we got in the side of this tank. I think the sender unit works. It feels like a quarter tank. Yeah, I don't know if that's a quarter tank. That's more like an eighth. How much does a gallon of fuel weigh? A gallon of liquid? I don't know. Anyway, let's get the sending unit out. Let's see what kind of mess we have in here. There's just a ring here we need to knock out. Okay, nice and loose. What do we got? Here we go, here we go. I'm looking at this sock right now. I hope it's really dirty. Be sweet. No, that looks really nice. Everything in here looks really, really nice. I don't know, it's kind of upsetting. Sometimes you like to find the smoking gun, you know, like this, and I've been here before. This looks great, honestly. So here's our fuel tank sump. It's made of plastic, and that keeps the fuel pump saturated, or at least the bottom of it. There's a little bit of stuff in there, but nothing to be worried about. The inside of the actual metal tank, you can see there on the right, is mint, totally clean. I don't see any issues in here at all. The only issue I can see, though, is that it's reading like a quarter tank, and this is very low right now, and it was super light. It is possible this thing is just really low on fuel, and so it's starting and dying for that reason, where it's sucking up all the fuel in the sump, and then it's not able to rush back in quick enough because there, quite honestly, isn't that much fuel in here. I mean, it's reading, I think, over a quarter tank on the gauge. I mean, yeah, I couldn't imagine there's that much fuel in here. I don't know, I mean, there's definitely some. This looks like an updated sock too, doesn't it? Let's just pull this sock off. We're gonna replace all this no matter what. There we go. Yeah, it doesn't look like it broke apart or anything. Sometimes this mesh gets dirty inside and it'll plug up. It's an official GM test. I don't know if that's the problem. We could just have a bad fuel pump, intermittently bad. That's very possible. Either way, I'm replacing all this stuff while we're in there. Guys, you wouldn't believe this, but in stock at the auto parts store, brand new straps for this car. So I can totally sand these down and paint them, but it was $18 for new straps. So we'll get some new ones in. And you know I'm gonna clean stuff up that no one can see. These brushes work great to get into little areas. Oh yeah, sweet. Now I will say this, there is this black rubberized undercoating in some areas. It's kind of thick over there. I already cleaned this, that's just what it looks like. And I believe it's overspray because they coated all of the arches, which is great because they are in perfect condition. So that's kind of cool. You can see more overspray on certain areas of the frame. Let's see how nicely this will clean up. And that's really nice. That's what it's supposed to look like. Cool. Getting a little carried away while I wait for the new fuel tank. I ordered a whole new fuel tank. Again, not really needed. It's perfect inside that surface rust, but the parts store has one. It's one day away for like $100. Why not? All right, this area is all cleaned up, looking good. And about where the fuel filter was used to look like this, and now it looks like this. Much much better. You know, I love my AMSOIL heavy duty metal protector. This is an excellent undercoating. It's super easy. It goes on as a liquid and dries as a wax. So we're gonna hit up every cavity of this underneath that we can get to as we, you know, basically restore the car. And it doesn't take away our teal. I've used this on most of my cars and it works great if your car doesn't have any rust at all because it'll prevent it from ever rusting. And it's super affordable. I did my entire Escalade for about $40. And honestly, you can't put a price tag on rust prevention. I'll leave a link for 25% off down below. Another while you're in there is the fuel filler. We can take the entire assembly out. It's really easy. All right, there they are. So we're definitely gonna replace the rubber, and this is solid. We're gonna clean it up though, just a little surface rust. I sanded down the filler neck and now it's in the paint department, and we're just going to go with a matte silver. No one's ever gonna see this, but this will protect it from ever rusting and look pretty again. Beautiful. I did use a little bit of rust reformer first, so it converts any remaining rust that you're not able to sand, and it encapsulates it. Beautiful. All right, I think we got everything. The tank came in, our new sending unit came in, looking beautiful, new hoses, new seals, straps, and our newly painted filler neck. So this is really cool. This came as an assembly with the new sock and the new float and pump and everything. So we're in good shape, guys. The inside of this tank has no plastic. It is all metal, which I'm okay with. You can see right there on the bottom left how it cracked. That happens with the plastic. Old fuel tank strap coming down. All right, let's slide on our new seal over the pump and be careful with the float. And now this is going in the sump. Ah, our seal's falling. There we go. And now we just have to slide our ring around the Rosie? Pocket full of Posy? What is Posy? I have no idea what that is. It's something. Oh, look at that fitment. New seal. All right. So we can twist this around by hand, possibly for the whole thing, maybe. Ah, almost. Okay, it's getting tough. Couple little rat-a-tat-tats. Bam. Oh, she's in there. This is beautiful. Don't you guys love new parts? So the old tank uses these rubber isolator pads, and with a little cleaning, they're in good shape. So we're gonna clean them off. We're gonna use a little bit of clear epoxy, and we're gonna install on the new tank, do one of these to mix up the 2-part epoxy, and we're good. All right, so now I have my little helpers. They are holding their hands on all of the pads while the epoxy dries. So just about another 3 more hours, kids, all right? All right, it's been 3 hours, and the kids are now gonna install the gas tank for me. There we go. All right, good job, guys. Good job. I don't have to do anything, this is great. Hoist, there we go. All right, hang on, guys, I'll get it. Oh.
Oh, whoa.
Okay, and I'm totally not prepared with straps or anything. Even if they did get it in, I forgot to put the filler tube in, and this is kind of nasty. We'll clean this out first. Oh, this is great. You know what, we'll have to pressure wash that. It's still kind of gross. That's enough for now. We gotta do mechanical stuff. This thing is gonna get, obviously, a massive, massive detail. New filler is going in. Don't wanna scratch it. Look at that beauty that no one's ever gonna see. All right, cool. We'll kind of leave this loose for now. It is gas tank time. We're not gonna use kids for this. We're gonna use a trans jack. Fuel. All right, get our hoses on, plug in our electrical connector, and now we can bring this tank up back to its home. Its new home. New tank, meet old body. Brand new straps going in place here. Get out of here, trans jack. There we go. Just tightening up the new straps. Fuel tank's done. You know we're undercoating this gas tank. Love this stuff. You will never rust. Mostly because I'll never drive you in any kind of bad weather, but you know, we're gonna get some gas in this thing and then try and go for a ride. And I did put the wheels on with the old tires. The new ones actually didn't come in on time, and I really wanna try and drive this thing right now. All right, I think that is all. I had like 2 or 3 gallons in here. I think I'm gonna get more though. We'll put like a half tank in it. Here we go. It's got a bad starter. We'll fix that. Well, I primed the fuel enough. It started right up. Cool. All right, it's running good. All right. We're going, guys. We're driving it. Oh my gosh. Seatbelt on. Woo! We're driving. Oh, did the fuel pump fix it? Oh my gosh. Yes, I mean, that makes sense. It's a really common thing on these to have bad fuel pumps. Third gear, beautiful. My Oldsmobile's alive! Fourth gear, oh, it's buttery smooth. These windows work great. Oh man, this is the best car ever! Oh my gosh, I love it! All right, I don't want to go too far. Let's turn it around. Brakes are okay, they need a little work. This power steering is great. God, most importantly, the engine and the transmission work just perfectly. Yes. Can't go too crazy here. I mean, the oil looks good, but we want to change it. Best $3,000 ever! I love this car. Check it out, guys. It's so funny. The HUD display looks like, you know, a cowl hood or something sticking up on the dash. I mean, we still got the check engine light, but it is running great. Look at that. Risking it here, but I'm gonna go for a little bit of a longer cruise. I wanna get this thing up to operating temperature. Oh, it's got a shift light. Oh my gosh, it just flashed to shift. You guys gotta see this. Look at that, it tells me to shift. Thank you, Oldsmobile, for telling me. I think I will shift. Oh, I just lost all power. What's this thing do? Oh man, that was weird. It's still running. Huh. Okay, we're good. There's fourth gear. Let's see. It's a 5-speed, so let's test that out. And we're in fifth. Gosh, the trans is awesome. The get rag or get trag or however you say that. Phenomenal, phenomenal. Oh, I still want to rip into this. It's got that 7,000 RPM tack, dual overhead cam, bored out 3.1 to a 3.4. GM, you madman. All right, guys, I mean, we got to do the starter, so let's get it back, get to the starter. It looks like a complete nightmare, like pretty much everything on this engine. We'll throw a starter in it, and we got to keep going. We're doing more mechanical stuff to get my olds back, and I want to drive this home. Oh, no. It just died. No! It just cut out, like, it just cut out. Oh, it started. Okay. It just died out of nowhere. So I'm fine. Oh no. It just died. I should probably stop driving it, but I'm right by the shop. I want to see if there's any rhyme or reason to when it's dying. Oh, and it's dead. Hang on, let me pop the clutch here. We're back? All right, yeah, it definitely dies, like just really random. I think it's about every minute. I could be wrong. And it runs great. All right, let's get it back. We got more diagnosis. Well, we're getting somewhere. First drive. Went pretty well, all things considered. I'm happy with a car that dies out every minute. I mean, especially a stick, you just turn it back on. All right, so let me get this thing on the rack. And yeah, I think we're gonna take the starter out, and there is an ignition control module in there. Wait till you see it. It's like in the exhaust. That could be getting hot. Could be it. All right, it's still running good, guys. Hopefully it's just enough time to get it on the rack again. Ah! The problem is definitely back now. Ah. Starts right up though, that's the big difference. All right, we made it. We made it! So we're gonna replace the starter and we're gonna go after the ignition control unit that are all right in there. We have to disconnect the battery, which is a monster to do in this car. We can't even really get to the negative post. Normally you're supposed to disconnect that one, but we're just gonna go for the positive in this case. Again, in all other situations, disconnect the negative. I just don't feel like dissecting the whole car right now for the battery, so we'll just put that right there. We're good. All right, guys, here is our behemoth of a starter just buried in here. The AC system is empty if we need to remove that, so that's good, although the AC doesn't work. We gotta do an oil change anyway, so this is coming out, and I think the oil cooler, which is leaking, is coming out, so we can do some seals. You know I love my while you're in there. So let's drain some oil. All right, start with the oil change. The oil did look good, but you never know. Probably very, very old. Yeah, I mean, it looks like they just changed it and then just let the car sit for a very long time. It probably never ran again. The guy I bought it from was like, yeah, my last leg was that it kept on starting and dying right away and then never starting again. So oil change didn't fix it. Oil filter time. Sorry, oil filter, I know you're practically new. I got off my floor. The oil filter location on some cars is just horrendous. The oil cooler is just held in with one nut. It's a 26 millimeter. There we go. We'll get a little bit more oil here. We're really doing a nice oil change. All right, this is coming out. So it's just like a long bolt. And there are two coolant hoses going to this cooler. They actually look to be in really nice condition. Yeah, we are really draining all this out. That's great. Let's see if we can just move this out of the way for now. We're gonna remove this AC line. All right, we got our AC stuff out of the way. There we go. That's nice. And we get to get new seals in here. Oh, look at all that AC oil. Wow, look at that stuff. Just fizzling away. So the system still has R12, so I'll have to convert it anyway. And it's nice to get some fresh oil with dye in there. I'm gonna assume there's a leak somewhere. All right, we got an 8mm for the signal, and now we have a 13 for the power. So we have all the wiring off, and it's 215s. Gun won't do it. There we go. I can do it. I'm the gun. We got another one right here. Sweet. There goes that bolt. Oh, this has shims. Look at that. Okay, there's that. We'll pull the old shims out. That's cool. And we can pull the starter out, hopefully. It doesn't look like there's any room to actually remove this, but it should be possible. Oh yeah, there we go. Our old starter, most likely original, and it had enough. It had enough starting and would click every once in a while, and we do have a good battery in the car, so we know that's not the problem. Before we go back together with the new starter, I'm going to replace some parts that may or may not be bad. Some of them are definitely not bad, but we're gonna do it anyway because I'm keeping this car. That would be the 3 ignition coils here, and underneath is an ICM, or ignition control module, and those do fail on these like 80s, 90s GMs, and when they fail, the car will just die. It'll literally do exactly what it's doing now. So we're gonna take a look. There is actually a plate that is supposed to have this conductive white goo on there, and we'll see if that's all dried up. And here's the ignition control module. This is the plate, and they give you some of this stuff to put on there. And this is a Delphi unit. I'm going with all really good quality stuff, especially right here in the ignition, because I mean, look how hard it is to replace. And I'm gonna label these wires. We're gonna go ahead and pull these wires off now that they're labeled. Number 2 and number 5. Come on, baby. There we go. All right, we have to remove this gigantic bracket to get to one nut. There we go. This guy right here needs to go. It's actually a bolt. It's right there. We got this bracket just kind of dangling now. I had to do all that to get to this stud right here. Okay, all right, finally, it's coming out. Oh, without the starter out, I don't even know how you do this. Like, this is a big job to get to this. That's why we're replacing it, because if this goes bad, which it will, you know, that would stink. We have our new AC Delco coils, our AC Delco ignition module, but we still have to take this all apart for the bracket. And there's just a few 5.5 mils, kind of a weird size they use. That's just to remove the coils. We got these bolts here. Oh, these break a lot on rusty cars, like really rusty cars. They're good on our cars. Our car just has surface rust, guys. It's not that bad. Although I'll never convince Southerners that it's not that bad. Okay, and you see how the coils are each plugged in to the ignition control module. Yeah, this stuff is really clean. These could have been replaced. Okay, got some spider web action going on. So the only thing is there is no silicone lubricant. That supposedly is pretty important on these. But here's the thing, we're gonna replace this no matter what. And these are the kind of parts though that I keep. Like I had a bunch of Grand National parts and stuff. In case we ever buy another car with this, we have a bunch of known good parts. No reason to throw these out. So we will keep all of this. And like if I was going on a really long road trip with this car, I would just bring this stuff with. You never know. Go away, spiders. So they give you some of this. It's not a lot at all. I mean, I don't even know what is in here? Barely anything. God, they've really cheaped out these days on stuff. And so basically this is just acting as a heat sink, and this is gonna help transfer the heat. And we'll spread it out. So it is a little concerning that there wasn't any of this on there. It's about all I really ever see on there is that. It's like squeezing the last little bit of toothpaste out. Like, I got one more in me. I'm not buying toothpaste. I can't go to Walgreens right now. All right, cool. Now we will go ahead and put this on there like so. Now we can plug in our new coil. Perfect. This looks really pretty, doesn't it? I love it. And we'll go back together with our 5.5 mils. Don't want to go too crazy with the gun on these. Very little torque. Just like little Alex clicks or whatever your name is. So if your name is Bob, they're Bob clicks. Ryan clicks. It's your name. Put your name in the comment section. I want to see if there's any kind of pattern to the people that watch my videos. Can you imagine if like the vast majority has one name? That'd be really weird. My name's Alex. What's your name? Vic. We're going back in with our new coil and ignition control module. Please fix the car. That would be nice. All right, this fits in like that. I got the bolts in there and we can just tighten up these 13s. And now we have our ridiculously thick AC bracket, because you know, you don't want your AC compressor flying off randomly while you're driving. This inch-thick plate of steel will prevent that. So at a weird angle for the gun. That's good though. We'll plug in the ICM now. And this has another plug here and another one right there. Good clicks. So this is really nice AC Delco spark plug wires that are in excellent condition. I owned a couple, they're fine. So we're gonna reuse them. We have 5 up here, and we have 2 right here, and so forth. Spark plug wires are back and routed nicely. We're gonna replace this leaking oil cooler gasket. So we'll just kind of, oh, there we go. Just kind of picking out, there we go. Now I've called like 5 parts stores. They don't have this, but check it out. I have like a $3 STP oil filter, and this looks to be exactly the same size. So let's pluck this out. And yeah, they're about the same thickness too. And let's see, will this work? Will it work? Yes. That's great. You can see now it's sticking out a little bit, so we'll get a good seal. So these are flat seals, but this one's just kind of pancaked. All right, well, hang on. Before we get that oil cooler back in, we have to, you know, put the starter in. We had to take that out to get this out. Almost forgot. Go in, new starter. I've definitely done worse starters. This isn't horrible. There we go. All right, so we'll slide it in like that, and we'll go ahead and start the long bolt that's in the rear. All right, so that's just holding it in, and now we can slide in the shim. See, this side is open, and we go in like that, and we've hit the bolt, and now we can start this guy. All right, cool, so that's started. With the starter back on, before we do the wiring, we'll get this oil cooler assembly back on. Okay, that's good. I've got the oil cooler in here ready to go on, but because of this hose, we want to get our starter wires on first. So we have this one here, and then a couple of these guys. Tighten up the nut for the power wires. And we got our purple signal going on too. And now we can put our oil cooler back on with our new gasket. That looks good. And a gigantic bolt. Tighten this guy up. This is a pretty hefty bolt.
All right, there we go. That's about 30 foot-pounds, verified by my clicking shoulder.
AC lines going back in.
There we go.
All right, that's good.
All right.
We're an oil filter and oil away from starting it up. See what happens. Going back together with a Sweet Wicks oil filter. There we go. Nothing but the best for my Oldsmobile. We are going AMSOIL 530 synthetic. Oh yes, the first oil change. This is when you kind of start to get to know your vehicle. Change your own oil, people. I know it's cheap to go places, but you never know if they do a good job. You don't know what they're using half the time. This stuff's actually pretty affordable too. Link down below, 25% off. Here we go, people. I might not know right away if we fixed it, because it did run for quite some time. Let's see. That's not promising. The starter worked. That was nice. Okay, there we go. Oh, that starter's nice. No more click. God, this engine runs so good. You can hear the air pump working right now, feeding our exhaust system with oxygen in order to get a more efficient burn. That since it's running rich when it first starts, they do that back in the day. Old school emissions technology there with the old air pump. But yeah, no, I mean, it's running really nice. So smooth. Just perfect. All right, well, at this point, I'm just gonna keep it running, and maybe we'll just go for a quick ride and see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't die. It sometimes takes like 15, 20 minutes, so I don't know yet. It's been running for about 10 minutes. It hasn't died yet. Something that's interesting is how loud these injectors are. Listen to this tick. Yeah, that's pretty loud. And did you guys catch this? I just did. I couldn't find my little Noid light. It's right there. Almost lost you. Other than the injector tick, this thing it's fantastic. So let's close it. Let's go for a ride. All right, here we go, guys. So far, so good. It hasn't died. It's been about 10 minutes. I'll take it. We're just gonna cruise it around, see if it dies. All right, guys, it's been about 15 minutes. It hasn't died. I don't wanna get too excited, but we have new oil. Everything looks good. Let's give it a little love. Oh, it revs nice. Guys, this isn't bad at all. And this car ran a 15.3 in the quarter mile, which is super fast if you compare it to what was out at the time. So any of the 80s and early 90s Camaros, Firebirds, you know, with the 305, even with the 350, they ran in the low 15s, high 14s if you were lucky or a good driver. Same thing with the Fox Body Mustang. So this car was just as fast, 15.3. That's fantastic. It feels great. It feels like a brand new car and it's not dying. That's important. All right, guys, check this out. Just doing light launches, but look at these revs. Dual overhead cam, baby! So neat, I love this car. Seriously, I've forgotten about the dying out issue. I shouldn't. Knock on awesome steering wheel with fan and temperature controls. This is too much, guys. Oh, butter smooth, butter smooth. Good temperature. We got good voltage. We got good everything. All right, I'm gonna keep cruising, guys. I'll let you know if it dies. All right, guys, it's been running for about an hour and it won't die. This is a world record for this car not dying. The cooling fans kick on perfectly and it stays nice and temp. We have good oil pressure, good everything. So I'm like changed and ready to leave for the day. I've been waiting to hear if this thing will die, and it won't die. So I got my USA shirt on, and I'm actually going to see Buck Cherry tonight. Let me know in the comments if any of you guys know who Buck Cherry is, or if you're a fan. Good old-fashioned American rock and roll. Oh, and I am taking the Camaro SS to the concert because that's about as American as it gets. We hit a little bit of traffic here on the way to the show, but that's all right. It's perfect time to teach my kid how to shift. Give me some third gear.
Okay.
Bam. He's my gear changer. It's like having an automatic. I just gotta work the clutch. Fourth gear. All right, fifth gear is a little tricky. Can you do it?
Yep.
Go for it. Nice. And let's do sixth. Perfect.
Hey, Dad, can I do downshift?
All right, yeah, bring me to 3. Oh, wait, is that 3? There we go. Let's not go to 1. Ready? Woo! So you want to give me 6 right now because we are on the highway. Ready? You're going to go 3 to 6.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Go. Are we in?
Yeah.
Now we're getting good fuel economy. There's Buck Cherry. I got the meat up. Look at that. All right, that was seriously so cool. I've been listening to them since I was wrenching on cars in my buddy's garage. It's just, that was awesome. And my son's here with me. What'd you get there, buddy?
A VIP pass with a bunch of signatures from the band.
Woo! And so the band's playing over there. Right now we got the opener, which is a Skid Row cover band. We're gonna go check them out. We got to meet them too, but there's a car show. So we parked the Camaro next to a bunch of awesome muscle. All right, we're gonna enjoy the show. I'll see you back at the shop tomorrow with the Oldsmobile. Hang on, before we go to the shop, I just want to say that across from the Buck Cherry show and the car show is a Portillo's. This is the best day. All right, we got burgers, shakes. Cheers. All right, that's it. We're gonna enjoy the rest of the night. I'll see you guys at the shop. Well, the Cutlass didn't die at all. I drove it for like an hour. It's perfectly fine. But unfortunately, it is on the rack for absolutely nothing. More maintenance because the car is being good to us, so let's give it a little bit more love. And in this case, we're gonna give some love to the wonderful 5-speed Get Trag or Get Rag. We're gonna swap out some fluid right now, see what it looks like. Oh, and I tested out our new starter by trying to start the car about 40 times, and we never had the click noise. It started every time, so for that issue, it was just simply the starter. Here is the drain for the transmission. One of the main reasons I wanna do this is because we did find some fluid in the back, and I know the previous owner had to replace the alternator at one point, and you have to take the axle out, so I probably lost some fluid, and there's a little dipstick on the top of this. It's conflicting whether or not you check it when it's running or not, so I don't know if he's got the right amount of fluid in here, but let's see. It looks okay. Very, very thin. This is synchro mesh, and there's a weight to this. It's 5W30 like engine oil. That's kind of what it looks like. So, all right. It's not thick gear oil, that's for sure. So we're all out. I'm gonna plug this up. We'll fill it up, and then we got a couple other little things to do. I wanna take this home. I can't wait to show the kids. I've been telling them all about it, so I wanna see if I can make it home, but it's got some broken parts we need to replace. I actually have to fill this by taking the wheel back off, and no, I haven't replaced the tires yet. They haven't lost any air, surprisingly, either, which is weird, but we got the wrong tires in, so we'll probably have to do that in the next episode. Well, I shouldn't be driving on these, but they'll be all right. All right, wheel coming off to fill the transmission. Here's our little dipstick right here. This is kind of cool, a dipstick on a manual trans. Look at that, neat. So here is our setup. We have our $10 hand pump, and we are using the Amsoil Synchro Mesh. That's what it calls for, and it should be about 2.5 quarts. All right, we're just gonna run the tube right to the top like that, and then we're gonna simply pump 2.5 quarts in. Pretty easy. I've said this before, but do manual transmission and differential fluids yourself. Very easy, you can save yourself a ton of money. There's our 2.5, got a little extra for a rainy day. I don't know. Anyway, I'll put the cute little dipstick in and we're good there. Let's move on to an engine mount, a dog bone, if you will. So I noticed when driving this, the engine was a little shaky, and this is very, very common, but this is an engine mount. Some people refer to it as a dog bone because it looks like a dog bone. So when the engine is torquing, it's moving quite a bit because this bushing is just simply bad. This is really easy to do. We have one bolt here. All right, don't drop that. There we go. We have to move the oil cap to get this bolt out. All right, so that slides out. I already got the nut on this one. That slides out. And we didn't even have to jack the engine up or anything. Our new one is aluminum, so we'll slide that in. Little weight reduction action going on here. Bam. The engine will move a little bit. You just lift it up with one of your hands. You just pull the whole engine up. And then we just reinstall our nuts and our oil cap. All right, so before our engine mount was moving around like this, very sloppy, no good. And now we have one that moves like this. So it's still gonna move a little bit. It is a rubber bushing, but this is about 100% better. All right, guys, it's the end of the next day and I'm driving this thing home. It's just so reliable now. I love it. So my family didn't get a good chance to really check out how cool this car was at the shop. So I'm gonna bring it home. We have a lot of side streets, not that far. And then I got the hopefully right tires shipped to a tire place by my house. So I'll get those done as well. But I mean, guys, it's, man, with the new motor mount, it is awesome. Before, it's kind of hard to describe, but it was just, you know, it's just a little jerky, like disconnected feeling. And now it's nice and tight. Well, man, this thing drives exactly how you think it drives. Just comfortable, you know, not just the interior, but like the suspension feels fantastic. Roll up these awesome windows. It needs a little bit of an alignment, probably because of the old tires, maybe. But other than that, gosh, this is such a nice car, guys. $3,500. You can't beat it. Just buttery smooth, international edition. This transmission's great though. The dual overhead cam really kicks in the upper RPM range. There it is. It's like VTEC kicking in, but with no VTEC at all. It wasn't that technologically advanced back then. So we're in 4th, and now we're in 5th, and we're cruising, guys. There she is. Everything is perfect except we have a brake light on. I think it's just a bad switch. The fluid level is good, but in the upcoming episodes on the Oldsmobile, we have quite a few more repairs to do. And in the next one, I think we're gonna dig into this weird engine that GM put together and replace a few things kind of internal to that to make sure it lasts forever. And that's all gonna be in preparation for a little friendly race that I want to put together with a couple of 80s and 90s icon cars that I think this one will keep up with. So I'd mentioned Fox bodies and Camaros and Trans Ams, and that this thing runs roughly the same quarter-mile time. And I think we need to find out, but there is a lot more to sort on this car before it is capable of doing anything like that. Right now I'm driving, you know, like 40 miles an hour home, basically on side streets the whole way. So anyway, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up, share the video with your friends and family, subscribe if you haven't already. It's super easy to do. You just click the button and it's free, and it really helps me out. But most importantly, have a fantastic day. I'll see all of you in the next video. And with shipping, this is a clean title car that was ordered from This is a clean title, no accident car that was ordered by a employee of GM. Okay. Now, if we're gonna get this car to run and drive, we need new tires. And so while we work on everything else, it is possible. This is gonna sound kind of dumb, but it is possible that thing. All right, guys, so now I'm working on, all right, so I'm gonna replace, and I had to do all, and I wanna replace, and now we're gonna replace this flat, we're gonna replace this leaking, and now we can start with this guy. Okay. So this is really easy to do. This is me stopped at a light, waiting for it to turn so I can keep talking. Because I don't really like talking at the light, you know, because it's just stationary, it's no fun. We like cars because they move, you know, not because they're stationary. Because they're legit street cars, not legit stationary cars. I don't know.